Hello and welcome back to Tits, Tums and All Things Mum. I'm here with the lovely ladies from Her Story today. How are you?
Good, thank you. Good to be here.
Yeah,
Good.
Thank you so much for coming on. Could you start individually by telling us a bit about yourselves separately and then tell us a bit about what you do together?
Okay, do you want me to go first?
You go first.
So my name's Hayley. I am a mum of 4, 18, 6, 4 and 2. So I've got a busy household. I'm married to Alan and have been for a very, very long time. I obviously was a child bride. Do you want to know about my background?
Yeah.
Okay, so my work background, and kind of like leading up to Her Story and Co, is so I'm a qualified nursery nurse, worked with children for a very long time, and I'm also a qualified family support worker, which is the work I absolutely love, and that kind of leads into Her Story. So I'll hold a fire on more information about that.
You two, 4 kids each. Christ,
I know,
your
8 kids
houses
between
must
us.
be so busy.
Yes, it is.
Honestly. After you.
Oh, cool. So, yeah, Jade. I also have 4 children. They are 13, 11, 9 and 6. I really had to think about that then.
I struggle with 2, let alone 4. So
When someone
good
asks
on
me their
you.
date of birth, then I'm like,
I get that.
I really was a young mummy. I had Bella when I was 16. And through that, through being a young mum, I have kind of tried everything along the way, like career-wise.
Yeah.
Because we always said that we wanted to make sure that we were like flexible to be around, like for one of us needed to be flexible to be around the kids. So I've pretty much, you name it, I've pretty much tried it. Everything apart from porn, to be honest with you.
I mean, there's still time for that. There's still time.
I wanted only 10:30 last week, so there is time for that. And Her Story has kind of been built on your experiences from one end of the scale and my experiences being a young mum and like career choices and that along the way. And
so I met Jade when she was a young mum.
Yes.
In my previous role as
Gonna tell our love story.
We met 13 years ago. Jade came along to one of the baby groups that we ran. Wanted to come to that rather than you just chose, didn't you, to come to the one nearest to your home, I suppose. And
I put my big girl pants on, didn't I?
Yeah, obviously
sometimes
being
you've got
so
to,
young.
haven't you?
Yeah, she was so brave, and kind of instantly I was just like, she's so brave and coming in.
Thanks.
I'm so proud of her. And then obviously Jade's had more children, so we've got that. And when it took me a long time to complete my family, which is why I've got an 18-year-old and a 2-year-old. So we waited a long time
It's
for
a
our...
built-in babysitter, it's fine.
Exactly. 12-year age gap is... If you've got time to do it, I highly recommend it.
Yeah, no, there'll be no more coming out of me, thank you.
And then I've got
we're done.
2 years in between the last 3, which is kind of like, the 2-year age gap. Oh, no. 12 years, fine. So it took me a long time to complete my family. And then once I just didn't want to. I waited so long for my family. I really didn't want to go back to work. And Jade was doing a few other bits for women in business, actually, weren't you? And I kind of like contacted Jade again.
I didn't give you a choice.
I know. And then she kind of made me do it. I said, I've got this idea. And she's like, right, we're doing it. I was like, what? And
We're doing it. We launch on this date. We're done.
Exactly. And
There's no going back.
You literally sound like you're in my brain right now. Like, I've already got the business plan, go.
Yeah, definitely. And Jade's very much like that. She's like, that's a brilliant idea and we're going to go. And so I think I needed the kind of a push, didn't we? And then and it's kind of like evolved.
It is how we work.
Yeah.
I get really overexcited, far too ambitious, want to do far too many things, and you go, slow the fuck down.
Whoa.
I need that person in my life.
Yeah.
I need a Hayley in my life, please, because I've
got
no one to tell me to slow the
Control 2 of us.
Yeah, oh my God. I'm like, okay, Jade, so when is this going to happen? And she's like,
yesterday.
Yeah, exactly.
It's right, I've got it, I know it. I've created the poster, it's happening. She's done it. It's all done.
Yeah, it's done.
So, I mean, we have kind of like tweaked it, haven't we, to kind of feel what it is that we actually wanted to do.
I think we started off wanting to do one thing and have ended up kind of doing that plus a lot of other things.
Yeah.
But it's lovely, but also like overwhelming / emotional at times, because it's like every time we want to launch something new, or actually, in fact, we don't normally want to launch something new, someone will come to us and be like, oh, I'm really struggling with this. Can you do something? And I'm like, yeah, let's go for it. Hayley's like, hold on a minute. But we do it anyway. But it's like how many families or women or everything in our society or community that are struggling with or want help or support or want more friends in so many different areas. And that's the thing, like, it's been amazing for our business because we've now branched out into so many different things, but at the same time it's like really sad because so many people have struggled for so long with no one.
It's really tough, isn't it? This podcast is proudly sponsored by Cover My Bubble. Emma and Chris lost their baby girl Lily Beth at 1 month old and faced financial struggles on top of their grief due to not having life insurance. Now they help others by offering insurance for parents, children and bumps, covering critical illness to income protection. Visit covermybubble.co.uk to cover your bubble. And do you want to just kind of explain what it is that you do?
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah.
We've literally just had a conversation before. And
I know, but that's not on camera. So do you want to say it again?
Have you got...
I still can't remember what I thought.
Do you know, like, the elevator pitch? Everyone goes, you must have an elevator pitch.
Yeah, we don't have one.
You need to make it.
Yeah, we need to think of it and then memorise it.
Basically, we are a community of women. We run a community of women, and we fully encompass like any support that woman or family might need at that moment in time. So whether that means making new friends, pushing yourself out of your comfort zone, going clubbing. Like, we literally went to Coyote Ugly and got drunk with people.
I saw that. I was like,
it was so fun.
Jade was in her element.
I was like kicking left, right, centre.
You know, you can tell the age gap then, because I'm like, oh, it's bedtime. And she's like, let's carry on. I back.
So yeah, look, go clubbing with people. Like, we have a confidence and self-discovery course for women who are feeling a little bit like lost in their life and where they need to go next. We do practical support for mums and families who want practical support in home, whether that be childcare, taking a hot shower, like help with food prep, like mum house jobs.
Sorting toys, doing the washing. It's kind of like...
all the way through to, we're doing a big women's wellness festival on the 5th of October. So I don't really know how to describe what we do.
We're going to have to sit you down and like get an elevator pitch. Because you're literally like guardian angels.
Yeah,
you're
that's a good one. And we have been called that.
I mean, our we have been told that. Our like catchphrase, and my favourite catchphrase, is like, we take the phrase, it takes a village, and make it the reality.
Oh, I love that. So you are like the village. Basically.
Like, if you don't have a village,
bringing everybody together, you know, to empower them to find their own kind of like their own community, their own village, you know, bring them together, find a few
and the idea
friends.
is it kind of goes full circle in terms of like women come to us wanting support or like friendships or whatever, and we kind of like work with them through the different avenues and that we've got to get them to a point where they're like feeling really confident, happy, got new friends, all that kind of stuff, or like support in the house. And then when someone new comes in, you know, we've got more people to sort of take them on. Do you know what I mean? It's kind of, that's like the hope, and it is happening. It's finally happening. Nearly 9 months later, it's happening. So,
I love that.
But yeah, we don't have an elevator pitch. That was a very long elevator pitch.
I guess it's because you're doing everything. You're like supporting mums in every area that they need support in. So it's like, how do we kind of encompass that in one sentence? Because
if you think as a mum, you know, we have so many needs, don't we? We back like when our parents or maybe our grandparents had children, there was a village, there was a community. Mums didn't tend to work back then, did they? So they had their friends around to kind of like help out, look after the children, go round their house for a cup of tea, have that emotional support and that practical support. Whereas nowadays, most people don't live next to near their family. You don't know your neighbours. I mean, it's really sad, isn't it? Because you are at work all the time.
I grew up in a cul-de-sac and I lived next door my great nan and granddad, 2 doors away from my nan and granddad. My auntie was like 5 doors up, and my mum's best friend and our like childhood, like our closest friends growing up that we went on holiday with were 5 doors up the other side. And we'd come home from school. My mum did work. We'd come home from school and just go to whoever's house was in, whether that be my grandma, like the friends up the road. Like, my mum didn't need to worry about where we were because we were at someone's house. But now, like, luckily I am quite close with my neighbours. We take each other's parcels in, stuff like that. We offer to do the school runs for each other, but it's not the same as like popping next door and getting like a loaf of bread, or if you're having a meltdown and you just need some help. I remember one time, I think I've said this before on the podcast, calling my mother-in-law when I was really, really struggling with my youngest, and I was crying, really upset. And she's about a 10-minute drive away, which in the current day and age is actually pretty good.
It's not bad.
So
it seems like forever when you're in that.
It seems like forever. And I called her and I was like, please come help. And she was like, right, I'll be there in a minute. Anyway, I'm waiting, the doorbell goes. I answer the door. It's bloody Jehovah's Witnesses.
I really haven't got time for this.
I was like crying, and then they were like trying to get me to like sign up to things, and I was overwhelmed, and I was like, okay, that's fine. Luckily, my mother-in-law came and told them to fuck off. But like 10 minutes is actually pretty good. Most people don't have family within like an hour of them these days, and that's if they have family
and
at
they
all.
work, and they work full time, but they might work in London, so all their friends aren't immediately around them, all their friends are at work.
We're actually finding, isn't it, with our Mum Ease support services, which is the practical support where we actually go into homes and help, is that grandparents are actually funding it.
Oh, amazing.
So grandparents are buying vouchers or buying packages.
Because they're probably busy,
because they're working, or they live too far away, or to be perfectly honest with you, they want to go on holiday themselves. And they don't want to be
They've done the parenting, they're like, right, I'm out of here.
They want to still be, they still want to still be grandparents rather than like childcare people. There's nothing wrong with it, and I wish I want to be that grandparent for my grandchildren. But there are plenty of people that don't. Actually, like, they're finding new ways to support things. So we've got one mum who her parents have paid for us to go and babysit and paid for them to go her daughter to go up to the theatre. So it's like they're finding like new ways to like support. But then you have the flip side of it, and people go, oh, I feel really uncomfortable, like you're coming into my home, but I know I need it. I'm like, right, we think of us as the best friend, the sister, or the mum support that you don't have. Like, but that's how you want to think of it.
You could stay in the home, like you could come in and they could just go for a shower, and they're still in the home, so it's not as if you're just leaving your children.
No. It is still awkward for us though the first time you load someone's dishwasher.
Oh really?
If you do it right,
because everyone does it a different way.
I know.
Yeah, honestly, my husband would have a meltdown. We've been together 8 years, and he still tells me off for how I load the dishwasher. I'm like, seriously, just get over it.
But you just need somebody to come in and say, right, I'll tell you what, you sit down, I'm going to put the kettle on, I'll sort that washing out while you just sit here, have this cup of tea, just give yourself 5 minutes. It's like giving them
that permission, because me and my best friend do this for each other, because I feel like when your parents have your children, you have to be doing something like working.
You can't just be sitting at home.
You can't just be sitting at home because you feel that guilt, don't you? Whereas me and my best friend have each other's kids, and we do whatever we want. And I remember going round to her house and having her kids for her. And I'm like, and she's like, oh, I just got so much to do. Like, I want to sleep. I want to wash my hair. I want to tidy up. I'm like, whatever you have to do, just do it. Like, it doesn't matter. Even if you just want to go sit on your arse and watch Netflix, just go, do it. And I guess that's what you guys
exactly
do.
what we're
doing. I remember one of our mums, we were doing postpartum support, and I've had a key to her front door. And let myself in, walked in, and she was like, in her nightdress, and this is what I love our job so much. In her nightdress, one boob out, feeding the baby,
been there.
a whole pack of biscuits, like loads of chocolate, everything. It was when Bridgerton had just come out, and I walked in, and she just went, I'm fucking knackered. I'm going to sit and binge Bridgerton. The list is in the kitchen. I was like, that's fine, I'm on it. And I just love it. Like, that's like the level we were. Okay, maybe not tits out left, right, centre. We don't care if tits are out, but you know what I mean? And that's like, I was like, jackpot. Like, to be able to walk in and be that person's someone where they just...
You're like a
Exactly.
bestie.
Just like a bestie. That's what I'm saying, because it's so lonely sometimes being a parent, isn't it?
And, it is.
You know, if your partner's at work and your family's not around, like you say, you just sat there with your baby. As much as you love your baby, you're like, this is well boring. So some of them like us to just stand around and have a little chat as well, you know? It's company. Or we do things with them, you know, not necessarily for them all the time. It's like we're fold the washing up together or something like that. So it's just having that company and somebody to chat to, which is really important.
And you do the events and stuff as well to get people to kind of make friends. Step out of their comfort
pushing
zone.
people out their comfort zone, Lottie.
I feel like you need that though, because you lose yourself in those early weeks, months, years.
And then your confidence gets knocked.
Yeah, you just have no confidence.
Yeah.
Believe it or not, when I first had my daughter, I would dress in black, white and grey. Not that you'd think so now, but just my confidence was shot. I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what I enjoyed anymore. I was like, what is this? And then you just lose it. But you need someone to just give you a kick up the arse and like, get out, go do things that you used to love doing. And then you kind of find yourself again, don't you?
And that's the thing. And the other thing as well is find that 3 or 4 of the ladies that came to Coyote Ugly in London with us all wanted to go out and do stuff, but everyone lives such busy lives. To actually try and pin people down where like a group of friends can go and think, because you don't really want to go just like 2 of you to like somewhere like that. You want to go in a group. So as soon as we said it, they were like, oh my God, we've been trying to pin people down for ages, like I'm in.
Yeah.
You know, so, and then I've had a couple of people that were like, oh, we're feeling a bit nervous, so that's fine, we'll meet you at the station beforehand.
Yeah.
You know, come with us to meet like everyone and stuff.
Yeah.
And nobody knew each other, did they?
No, I was going to say, that was the best thing about it. None of the ladies. They might
Apart
have
from
known
us.
Yeah, we knew each other, and they might have known me.
Or me.
Or you.
Yeah.
But they didn't know each other.
Oh, wow.
And by the end of the day, like, people were giving each other shots and
I
like
love
dancing on
that.
the bar.
Yeah.
And they've all kept in contact. They've got like a WhatsApp group as well, haven't they?
It just makes me so proud, because I just think how scary that must have been for
know.
some of them. Yeah. And they just come along, and I just think how brave are those ladies to actually do that.
Yeah.
No, you know, just knowing one person's really scary, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. I'm quite confident as a person now, and like a couple of months ago I went to London on my own to meet a group of women that I'd never met before, and I was shitting myself.
It's so scary,
I was literally shaking. I was calling my friend and I was like, I'm so scared. And I actually had to have like an alcohol blanket on me. I was like, just down a couple of drinks before I go, I'll be fine. But it is scary, and that's for someone who's quite confident. So for someone who's in early motherhood, who's lost their confidence, that must take a lot to like just get yourself there.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's something to be said for the other side of it as well. For like when, I mean, I've literally had I say gone through it. My kids haven't left home, but having 4 children quite close together, 4 children in 7 years, and then having that realisation of, well, that phase of my life is over now. I'm not having any more babies.
Yeah. You go wild.
Yeah, like,
I love that.
But like having, like struggling in that like phase, there's, you know, we've put a lot of focus on that new motherhood side because it is really tough and really lonely. But there are pockets of motherhood as you like go through and not come out the other side, because you're never not a mum. But you know what I mean? As the kids leave home, there's pockets in that as well that's really bloody lonely, and people forget what they're meant to be doing.
Like you say, because your children, you were needed as a mum, and obviously they don't need you so much now. So you know, you're like, oh, what do I do now?
I was like, Jessica's at school
I haven't got
now.
anybody's bum to wipe.
Yeah.
What is this? Yeah.
Jessica's at school now. My job kind of works around everything that I'm doing. What do I do now?
You kind of look forward to that though, but I guess when you're there, you're like, oh shit, like, what do I do?
I know.
Yeah, it must be a weird feeling when you're finally there and you're like, oh my God, I've got free time. I can actually like live my life.
That free time is really lonely to start with until you figure out what you're actually meant to be, or you want to do to fill that time. And then we did a bingo event, didn't we?
Yeah.
And I loved it.
A bit of bingo.
Oh my God, daytime bingo.
Was it like crazy bingo or just normal bingo?
Like normal bingo.
Yeah.
But we did it in our local pub, the Fox and Hounds. They're so good, aren't they?
They're so good at
supporting
us.
But yeah, we had, who was the youngest? 22?
Yeah.
22, 23-ish.
Yeah.
Up to 81, wasn't it?
That's
81.
so
And I was like, I looked at this room of women and I was like, this is amazing. Like, we've got great-granddaughter, granddaughter, mum. We had 4 generations.
Oh, that's amazing.
And it was just like, everyone's laughing and joking, and you know, we've got Nan out, we've got Mum out on her lunch break, you know, we've got new Mum out.
And the Nan would be able to give tips to like the young ones as well.
And everyone was talking to each other and mingling.
It was lovely, wasn't it? It was a bit
really
like our coffee morning as well, wasn't it? We had how many people?
That was nuts.
That was really low. It was a load of local
52.
people, which just tells us that just in our local, like the immediate area, there's 52 ladies that didn't have anything to do on a Thursday morning, and they came down to our.
Wow, that's crazy.
And again, we had some young mums, didn't we, all the way up to...
Yeah, that was a real mix again.
Yeah. And it was just nice.
So you're supporting all these like mums that are potentially lonely, potentially wouldn't be able to make mum friends, because also some people within their circles are the only one that have got kids, and that can feel really lonely as well because you have no one to talk to. And
that was me.
Yeah, that was me as well. I was the first one out of my friends to have kids, and no one understands it. Like, I've lost a lot of those friends now because they still haven't had kids, and no one will ever understand it. And like, they used to get upset with me if I couldn't come to things or if I was late to things, and I'm like, just you wait. And I almost felt a bit bitter being like, you wait, when you have kids you'll get it. But they still haven't had kids, so they still don't get it.
I understand.
But it can be really lonely if you're the only one that's got kids within your circle.
Maternity leave, especially now. I mean, when I had my first, we only got 6 months, so I had to go back when she was at 5 months old. But that's a long time. And if you're not confident enough to go to the local children's centres, to the baby groups, that you just don't feel comfortable, that's a long time you and your baby.
Yeah, it is.
You know, your other half's at work, and that's a long old time.
No, and the days feel long.
They do.
Because usually you're up at like the crack of dawn.
Clock,
and then it's 9 a.m. and it feels like you've done like a whole day already. And then you've got the whole rest of the day. You're like counting the hours till bedtime, and it's just a lonely, lonely place,
staring at the fridge, waiting till I can open the wine.
I mean, you can just pour it in a mug at 10 a.m. No one will know. Like, that's my biggest mum hack.
Have you seen the hack of like putting like the chocolate
I've
in the
done
mug?
that before.
Have you done it?
Maltesers, and you're just like...
and you like pretend to drink, but actually it's chocolate
out.
Just don't choke with a Malteser.
No. There's all these little hacks. But I'm going all inclusive on my holiday next week, and it's fully acceptable to have a pina colada at 8 a.m. and I'm like, yes! Like, I'm going to be sorted for the whole week, my poor liver.
Detox on the way.
Oh, yes, definitely. But why do you think it's so important to create these kind of spaces to empower women to get their confidence back and to kind of grow into who they used to be?
It's a very good question.
So I think that from my previous work and working with so many mums over lots and lots of years, there is a real need. Loads of women. We were saying, weren't we, that statistically about mental health, weren't we? How I can't remember the exact statistics, but the statistics over the last 6 years have shown that the decline in mental health in women is like literally like. It's going up, but you know what I mean.
That doesn't surprise me at all. It feels like there's not a lot of support for women out there. Like,
I think you have to search for it really hard. And when you're in that low mood, you don't know where to start, do you? So
you just want someone to come and like scoop you up and just sort you out, sort your life out.
I think it's really hard.
Yeah, sometimes like if you're in that deep hole, you can't find the way out. You need someone to do it for you. So that's
absolutely. But I think that like the societal pressure on women has changed so much over the years.
Don't even fucking get me started. That's for a whole other episode. I could rant about that for literally hours. Hours.
But you know, like back in the day, you know, it was like women, I'm not saying this is the right way, I still don't agree with it, but you know, our role as a woman was to have the children be at home and look after the house, right?
And I would, if I was being fully financially supported.
Exactly.
I would do that.
Exactly.
I would have everything squeaky clean. I would scrub those toilets with a toothbrush. But the reality is, we got to work. Like, we've got to bring in the income as well.
But the thing is, the way you're, as a woman, I mean, men are judged too, don't get me wrong, but as a woman, you are judged no matter what your bloody decision is.
Yeah.
You go to work, you get judged for not looking after your kid properly. You send your kid to a childminder, you get judged. You know, you stay at home as a stay-at-home mum, you get judged.
Yeah.
And I think it's so important to find the right village or community or whatever where you have that safe, like the zone and that safe space, so that your own mental health doesn't suffer anymore.
Yeah.
Most of us have got some issues. But you know, so that you don't suffer, because at the end of the day, if you suffer and you crumble and you don't find the right support network or the right village and have a laugh and rediscover who you truly are as a person, like everyone else around you is going to suffer.
Yeah.
They are.
Definitely.
They are. And I think, you know, that time like happy mum, happy baby, like I truly believe that.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like,
honestly,
you
the
can't
mum
pour
rage.
from an empty cup, can you?
No,
That's
exactly.
it. So you've got to.
The mum rage I used to feel like in the early days when I was really struggling and feeling that like resentment for having to do it all.
I know.
Yeah.
Like I was not nice to be around. So you really have to look after yourself and look after the mums and the dads, because otherwise you're not nice to be around. You're not nice parents at the end of the day.
No,
so
absolutely not, and your relationship suffers as well.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's another thing is, you know, people don't people always go, oh, I need to become a better person because I'm shouting too much around my kids. I'm like, no, you don't need to become a better person. You need to remember who you are and what your goals and your values and everything are.
And what needs you're not meeting, because you're obviously not meeting any needs.
You've got too many plates spinning and some of them are fallen. And it's not until you actually delve into these conversations with people that they go, actually, shit, yeah, my relationship's really suffered as well.
Yeah.
I'm like, exactly, like, your kids are important and they're your world, but... like, what came first?
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, it is a relationship.
Yeah, exactly.
And it's like, the whole package, so to speak, needs to run smoothly. And if one thing in that package, let's face it, the woman wears the trousers.
Sorry, Darren.
If the woman, isn't holding everything together 9 times out of 10, then everything else is going to start to fall apart. And I just think...
definitely. I said this to my husband the other day because... it's my daughter's birthday when we're on holiday, but we're having all the party and all the preparations and stuff before. And I said to him, like, where's Bella's birthday party, by the way, on Saturday? He's like, I don't know. I was like,
what should we do for party bags?
What have we got? Yeah, what have we got Bella for her birthday? I don't know. I was like,
just
if I died today, like, what would happen? He was like, well, I'd have to do it. So I was like, okay, so why aren't you doing it now?
Yeah, let's practice.
Let's practice for when I die. Let's do it now.
Let's pretend I'm dead.
Yeah, but I think it's just because he's so used to me doing it.
Sometimes I think, because I think with my first one, I felt like I might have taken over a bit.
Yeah, I'm definitely a control freak.
Yeah,
and because I'm organised, I do it like 2 months in advance, whereas he'd probably think about it a week before, and by that point I've already done it.
Exactly.
So it's like he doesn't get the chance to do it. I've got to be fair to him.
we kind of we like to take that role on, don't we? But then also it does become overwhelming. It's too much. We have to think of absolutely everything.
We do.
It's like, say you're going on holiday, so you'll be the one who knows how many pairs of pants they've got to pack, and
literally. Alec laughed at me earlier because he was like, I've got a way of packing. I sound like a fucking nut job.
It's like the dishwasher all over.
I swear to God. No, but I have a way, right? So that if a suitcase goes missing, we still have enough. So each person, the Shein bags that they come in, like the bags, each person has 4 of those, right? In each one, they have 3-day outfits, 2-night outfits, 3 pairs of knickers, a pair of pyjamas, and a pair of shoes. Yeah. And they go 1 in each suitcase for each person. Yeah. And he started to just throw stuff in the suitcase.
Like, there's a system.
And I was like, what are you doing? You're messing it up. I don't know what's going on. I was like, just leave it. Yeah. So that's a perfect example of how, like, I will moan at him in 2 weeks for not having helped me pack, even though he tried to help me pack, but he didn't do it my way, so I told him to fuck off. So, sometimes we are our own worst enemies, but at least we can admit that.
Yeah, 100%.
Definitely.
Yeah. On that note, shall we go ahead and spin the wheel? Let's do it. Okay, so who wants to go first?
Shall I go first?
Go on,
go on then. Right. No. Oh. Would you rather never do housework or have children that sleep for 12 hours a night?
I'll never do housework, 100%.
Would you?
I know you're going to say the opposite.
I'm going to sleep because mine still sleep with me.
Mine sleep. I like housework. Yeah. I don't mind it.
I'd be alright to doing the housework if I had to sleep.
Exactly.
You like doing housework?
Housework is my stress thing. So like when I'm really stressed and anxious, I clean everything. I just clean everything. Although
like a rage clean.
Yeah, like a rage clean, yeah. Although I would be better at doing the housework and not getting shitty with my husband for not doing housework if I had 12 hours sleep.
Yeah, that sounds good.
Yeah,
great.
I don't need a lot of sleep, so
no, you're definitely not now, aren't you?
Yeah. No, I said this earlier on the podcast that I had earlier today. I could sleep for 24 hours, wake up, have a meal, go back to bed. It'd be great.
I wish I could do that.
Yeah.
I really wish I could do that. I just can't.
Can't sleep.
I can. I'm a sleeper. I need the sleep. So we're going sleep,
well, you
housework.
Guys are sleep, housework.
Yeah. Love it. Right, do you want to go, Jade?
I'm excited.
Let's hope we don't get the same one. We'll have to do another spin if we don't. Right, we had a Q&A earlier, and I've used all the Q&A questions. So, oops, it went to rank bank. Rank bank. Oh, no. Right, let's have a look. I know that I've got a good one in rank bank because it came in yesterday, and I was like,
so excited.
Shit, that's bad. Right, Darren, you might want to close your ears for this one. So, I will never forgive myself for somehow allowing this to happen, but unfortunately it did. And now I'm traumatised for life. My husband and I have an experimental sex life. We have lots of toys and gadgets, and I thought they were hidden in the bottom of our wardrobe. One day I was getting dressed and my nearly 2-year-old was pottering around in the room with me. The wardrobe was open. I turned my back for literally 5 seconds. When I turned back around, she had a diamond butt plug end in her mouth. I wish I could say I hadn't used it, but both my husband and I had. We baby wiped them down after each use, but considering I put her dummies in Milton and boil them, it definitely wasn't clean enough for her. Oh God, I literally gagged when that one came in. I was like, oh God, it's a butt plug.
It had to be a butt plug as well, like all the things.
But they're like dummy shaped, aren't they? It probably looked like a dummy. I mean, it depends how girthy we're talking with this butt plug, but yeah. Oh, that is so
gross.
That is
their 18th, isn't it, though?
Yeah.
That time.
That is disgusting. Would you tell them, though?
Oh, I don't
By
know.
the way, you sucked on mine and your dad's butt plug when you were 2 years old.
That would be double cringe, though, wouldn't it? That'd be great. Yeah.
I don't think I could. First of all, because then they've got to picture the fact that their mum and dad are using a butt plug.
Yeah, that's where my brain's gone first.
Yeah. Oh, God.
I'd be like that.
That is disgusting. Have you guys got any rank stories from your parenthood?
Nothing like that.
I know, I was going to say, no,
Nothing quite that.
there's been no sucking of sex toys over here, thank you very much. Although, I was actually talking to one of the guys earlier because we had the 100th podcast event here. And one of the ladies bought us all vagina weights, like Kegel weights. You know, the ones that you
pelvic
have to, like,
floor,
pelvic floor. Yeah, so we all got 3 of those at, like, different weights. Darren had a great time hearing about what they were. I left them on my kitchen side because I just got home from here, chucked them on the side. My daughter comes up to me, like, swinging them around and going, "What's this?" My mother-in-law's there. And she's like, "Is that a sex toy?" And I'm like, no, completely the opposite. Like, we're tightening things here. We're not using it for fun. But yeah, that was a kind of sex toy, but not story.
I do have a sex toy related one. It's not as rank as that.
Oh, go on then.
I think my daughter went to the bottom drawer, which is a certain drawer in the bedroom, and got something out, pressed the button, came rapidly running downstairs with it, waving it around, going, "Why have you got Daddy's tools in your bedside table?" I was like, "Well,
it's like a drill."
Yeah.
I mean, you do use it for drilling, but yeah.
Different kind of drilling. I was like, you know, when you got to freeze and you're like, you don't really know what to do or say. I was like, "Oh, Daddy lent it to me the other day."
Oh my God.
Thank you.
I haven't yet figured out how I'm going to explain that because you can hide them really well, but these kids are going to find them. So how? Like, I haven't worked out yet how I'm going to explain that one to them because I'm quite an honest person.
If you put them in a locked box, they're going to want to know what's in that locked box.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
Everything is now on top of a high wardrobe, which no one can get to.
I don't think I could get a big enough locked box.
You need 2, Lottie.
No, but they're going to find it eventually. But I don't know how to explain it to them because we were talking earlier, weren't we, about your sex ed video that your little one, 11-year-old's being shown, and the video is hilarious. They're like proper showing how they're enjoying it, but. Or not.
Oh yeah,
they look in pain.
But there's still false expectations in this video.
Yeah, there's false expectations.
Yeah, exactly.
In this video, they're showing 11-year-olds.
That's the thing. Is my son came home and said,
"Whoa,
Mum, it was huge."
Yeah, but the girls in that classroom now, they're going to be like, no, but traumatised. But also, they'll be thinking like they're in for a treat later in life, and then they'll be disappointed.
And also, it definitely does not go that high up.
It was like pointing to the ceiling. But also, we're trying to be like honest with these kids and like talk to them about sex, all that stuff. Then how do you talk to them about toys?
I know.
Like, I suppose you just talk
Ask your dad.
Masturbation is not. Go ask your dad.
Oh, you've got to tell you a funny
Masturbation's
story.
normal.
My brother, when he was about 14, he came home and he said to my dad, Dad, what's a fanny fart? And my dad was like, I'll tell you what, ask your teacher. So Luke goes to school the next day.
Oh my God.
But he picked the science teacher, so he picked the proper science teacher, and she gave him the best explanation, like the proper scientific explanation.
Oh my God, that's hilarious.
I know, but imagine that. Oh my God's sake. I was like, well, I know what it is now. It's when air gets trapped into in the lady's vagina. And I was like, oh my God.
I remember asking my mum what a BJ was. And she just looked she just looked horrified, and she never told me what it was at that moment. I think I was quite young, and I'd heard it from my older friends, and she never told me what it was. I know now. Yeah, really, just in case you didn't know.
You've really got my brain going now, because I'm all about age appropriate honesty with my kids.
Yeah.
Like, they ask a question, I'll give them an age appropriate answer. Yeah. But what is the age appropriate answer for sex toys?
Just saying it's used for masturbation, which is normal.
But that's going to open up a whole new conversation.
What is masturbation?
Oh, I don't know. I'm not near that. You're near that. You've been through that, haven't you?
She was obviously really innocent. She never asked. Oh my God knows where she got her information from. Probably the video at school like that. She's like, that's right.
Yeah, I don't know the answer to that. I'm going to have to get a sex expert to come on the couch.
You need a sex expert to come in.
We'll do that. Talking about making it visual, she can bring toys with her to a demonstration.
Do you remember in science class when you'd go in, did you have the big purple dildos you'd have to
the ones that stick to the table?
And the slap they made when they went down on the table.
This when I was at school.
That was so funny. Did you have bananas when you were at school?
Yeah, banana. And you had.
Oh, we had big purple dildos.
They were scary big as well, and they literally stood upright.
Clearly schools have an issue with
managing the
expectations. Yeah, exactly. They need to scale it down a little bit, make it a bit more realistic. Oh dear. On that note, ladies, thank you so much for coming on. Do you want to finish by telling everybody where we can find you on socials?
Go on then, Jade.
Yeah, so you can find us Hair Story & Co. We are on Facebook and Instagram, and soon to be TikTok, because I'm slightly obsessed at the moment. So
getting down with the kids on
TikTok. I don't get it.
Yeah. I've got my personal one, but I kind of feel like it's not really going anywhere, so I need to change it up a bit.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much for coming on, ladies.
Thank you for having us.
Ending with sex toys. I love it. Thank you so much to everyone for listening and watching at home. Please give us a download, subscribe, comment, all the things, and I'll see you soon.
Bye.
Bye.